Welcome to Lady O's Kitchen. Today we are celebrating Christmas and I'm going to prepare my favorite meal that I normally enjoy on a Christmas day because I grew up seeing my mother preparing this meal and I was really loving it and I'm sticking to it. So we are going to make rice and stew. My pot had already been on the stove. I'm adding my vegetable oil as desired. And I will not really allow it to bleach out. To some of you that have watched my other video that I prepared my stew, you already know how I cook my stew. So I'm going to add my onions that had already been washed and sliced. The condiments had already been prepared. Everything had already been prepared. So we are not wasting time to celebrate our Christmas. I'll cover it up and allow it to cook. So as the onions is cooking, the water for my rice is boiling and I'm going to add my rice. Guys, this is a kind of rice that I really love, but I've had so many people complaining that when you cook it, it becomes too soft. But as Lady O is cooking, just pay attention to how I cook this rice. Normally, I allow the water to boil before I pour in my rice. Don't ever pour in this rice in a cold water. If you boil it with cold water, that is where it will become so soft and sticky that a lot of people don't like. But when you allow your water to boil before you add the rice, you will achieve a very good result, just as I'm doing right now. I will allow it to boil. I will not cover it because if I cover it, it will boil and spill and mess up. Okay, I'll give my onions a little stir so that it will not burn from under. When you are cooking, pay attention to whatsoever that you are cooking, because once you allow whatever you cook to burn, the taste, you lose the taste. So that's why I'm giving my onions a little stir, stirring it. With that being done, I will add my salt and let it rain. We are in Christmas spirit, so let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Cover it up and allow it to cook. So guys, we are checking on the onions. Alright, it's time for me to add other ingredients. Guys, let me just tell you, this is my mother's recipe. I grew up seeing my mother cooking rice and stew almost every Christmas day. So every Christmas day you are sure of eating rice and stew, which I really grew up to love. So this is my mother's recipe. Even though I will add my own twist to the stew and the rice, but the whole idea is my mother's idea. Rice and stew is sure every Christmas day. And in those days growing up, I couldn't wait for Christmas Day to come because I am sure I will eat Christmas rice. I really enjoyed my childhood. My mother was one of the best cooks, so I think it's just cooking is a family thing. It's all from my mother. She was one of the best cooks in my family. Okay, these are all my twists now, because when my mother was cooking her own, she didn't have all this black pepper, garlic, Italian seasoning, parsley, and nutmeg. So this is my own twist now. So I'm going to add Italian seasoning as desired. I'm adding my parsley as desired. I'm adding my garlic powder as desired. I'm adding my black pepper as desired, and of course fresh pepper. Not a lot of fresh pepper. Yeah, my mother used to cook her stew with only pepper and Maggi. So I'm adding my own twist. Adding my own twist. Of course, in my village, I don't think we don't have all this. We didn't have all these things then. But I think with civilization and exposure and globalization, maybe all these condiments are available. But in those days, growing up, I didn't grow up to know all this parsley, Italian seasoning, black pepper, garlic, and stuff. So maybe that's why she was not cooking with those things. And I'll also add my chicken. I'll just drop it. As time goes on, it will melt because it's hard. I cannot squeeze it. So let me just drop it like that and cover up the pot and allow it to boil. Then, as you all know that we are multitasking in this kitchen. While the stew is cooking, my rice is boiling. So I'm going to check on my rice now and show you guys how I cook this brand of rice. And it will not be like pete pete pete, like Nigerians will say pete pete, because I'm a Nigerian. Like being soft and mushy. Abi? Soft and mushy. This rice will never be soft and mushy. So what I will do is to take it off from the stove and drain it. Remember, I didn't wash it. I just poured it straight from the package. I don't normally wash it because once you introduce cold water before the hot water, that's when it will be a kind of mushy. So I did not wash it. So right now I'm going to wash it, drain it. So guys, let me show you guys how I wash my rice so that it will not be mushy. Normally I drain out the water that I boil the rice with and I rinse it out, because the rice is very, very starchy. So I don't need all the starch. I think it's the starch that normally make it to be mushy. So I'll make sure I wash up all the starch. This is how I prepare my rice. This is from Lady O's Kitchen Direct, live and direct from Lady O's Kitchen. Okay. I'll make sure it is properly rinsed. All the starch is gone. Rinse out all the starch. I think that is enough. Then I'll rinse. Okay guys, as I was rinsing it, I rinsed it out with hot water, not cold water, please. I forgot to mention it. Rinse it out with hot water, not cold water. Okay. It's properly rinsed. All the starch is gone. Then pour it back into my pot. And then I will add not too much water. Little water just to simmer it. Just add little water. And then my salt. Let my salt rain. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow. Not too much snow. We don't need too much snow here. Little snow. Let me use my hand. Okay. I will test for salt. Okay. And then take it back and cook it. So guys, while we were working on the rice, the stew was still cooking. So we are back to check on the stew because like I said, we are multitasking just to save time. And to eat very fast because we are hungry. Today is Christmas. We don't have time to waste. So normally I do bake my kitchen sometimes and put them in the freezer or in the fridge. So this chicken had already been baked and was in my fridge. So I'm just adding my chicken now. One of these days I will show you guys how I normally bake my chicken. So this is the chicken stock. While I was baking the chicken, I preserved this stock in my fridge. So I'm adding my chicken stock. Stir it up. Taste for salt and seasoning agents. If the salt is not enough, I'll still add more salt. If the seasoning agent is not enough, I'll still add more seasoning agent. That's why we don't measure in this kitchen. So we just cook as desired. Let me taste for salt and seasoning agent. Let me add little salt, very little salt. And let it snow, but not too much snow. That's enough snow right there. Man, this chicken doesn't want to lie down. It's sticking out. This chicken is sticking out. Okay. Sticking out, sticking out. All right. Okay. Cover it up and allow it to simmer. Then the stew is ready. So guys, we are checking on the rice. All right. Like I said, this is my mother's recipe because I grew up eating rice and stew, but I'm adding my own twist. Yeah, I said that before. So I'm using mixed vegetable. I'm trying to make the rice a little bit healthy. So this is my own twist that I've added to my mother's recipe. So I will just allow it to simmer. I will not overcook it. I will allow the vegetable to be crunchy and not being overcooked. While I'm still checking on the stew. 2. It's a multitasking job in this kitchen today. Cooking rice and stew at the same time. And both of them will be ready almost at the same time. Wow, splashing. Yeah, there's another secret to cooking stew, guys. When you are stirring your stew like this, I think you have to lower the steam so that it will not splash as it was splashing on me. That is one of the secrets of cooking your stew. Just lower the stove so that as you are stirring it, it will not splash. Testing it again. Oh my God, this is good. Tasting so good. So I think I need a little bit of water in the rice because here we cook as desired so that the vegetable will steam up. The water was not enough. Just do you in your kitchen. Cook as you like. Cook as you enjoy eating your food. Alright, we are checking on the rice. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at the vegetable. This is gorgeous. It is ready. So, I'm turning off my stove. The stew is also ready. You see how we multitask the rice and stew at the same time, and both of them are ready at the same time. So it's time for us to serve our Christmas meal and enjoy it. Okay guys, the table is set. You are all invited to enjoy with me. Come and celebrate Christmas with me. Merry Christmas!